The New York Jets may have just lost Mekhi Becton for the season. We're going to break this all down right now. All right, welcome in, folks. Today, we're unfortunately talking about a potential season-ending injury for the 23-year-old right tackle, Mekhi Becton. Before we get into it, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment if you enjoyed this video. And now let's break this thing down. According to Connor Hughes of SNY TV, Mekhi Becton is expected to potentially miss the entire season. It's not looking good. According to Connor Hughes, he reported that Becton hurt his patella tendon and his kneecap. It's an injury that originally appeared optimistic. It was more so he was limping. He'd be fine in a couple days or so with some rest. However, things took a turn for the worst. And now, unfortunately, all those good things came to an end. Mekhi Becton is looking at a potential season-ending injury here, and the Jets need to desperately plug up this gap. The reason being, Becton was going to be a huge asset for this offense, and he's one of the main reasons why I was so excited to watch this offensive line. From left to right, going through, having George Fant, having Laken Tomlinson, having Connor McGovern, having AVT, and then now you would have Becton. Well, unfortunately, it doesn't look like you're going to have the 363 behemoth brute at right tackle. So what does this mean for the Jets? What happens now if they do lose him for the season, which it really looks like they're expecting to lose him for the majority of the season, if not the entire season? Who is going to take over? You have Chuma Edoga and you have Connor McDermott. You also have a rookie in Max Mitchell in the 4th round. Where do they go from here? Well, they're not likely to go with Max Mitchell. That's putting a rookie right in the fire right away out of Louisiana. So they'd be most likely to go with either McDermott or Edoga. And I'll be honest with you, hearing what Connor Hughes has to say about their practicing, I don't feel ultimately very comfortable with them doing either of those. So now it begs the question, who could come in maybe outside of the organization? And lucky for you and lucky for the Jets, they had already been looking at 36-year-old Duane Brown, former Pro Bowl offensive tackle for the Seattle Seahawks and the Texans. Duane Brown is a free agent. They had been looking at him as a luxury pickup, and now he is a necessity. Think about a Morgan Moses ad. This guy doesn't have to play for the next 3 years. He's 36 years old, but he'd be coming in to plug the hole. And now, obviously, spending a top 15 pick on this player in Becton, who had an astronomical ceiling, is now dealing with back-to-back seasons where he's dealing with an injury that might cost him the entire season both times. You have to wonder about the future with him. Can you bring him back? Can you even attempt to cover his 5th-year option? I don't think you can. But regardless, the here and now, the Jets have a winnable roster. They have a roster, I think, that they could be potentially in the playoff race deep into the season, but here's how it's going to have to work. They're going to have to get this deal done with Duane Brown. I think they were already going to get it done before. This will likely speed up the process. He has to pass his physical, and then I think they're going to get this thing done probably tomorrow or the next day, but they got to get him in there. They got to get him knowing the playbook. They got to get him, acclimated with the offensive line, gelling, and they have to get him at right tackle. It's that simple. They have to make this thing. They have to basically solidify the offensive line. It may not be perfect, but I think when you look at Duane Brown, while he's not the same tackle he was a few years back, he's still very good. He's still somebody that can help, and at the very least, he is a average to above average starter, which is all you can really ask for, losing your right tackle potentially for the year. As far as Becton goes, this is really unfortunate. I feel for him. I'm a big fan of what he was doing. A lot of criticism has come his way about his weight and whatnot, and I feel like this is really upsetting because he was turning a corner. I think he was going to have a very good season, and I think Zach Wilson felt very good about him protecting his front side, and obviously Fant protecting his blind side. Now, I think more than ever, Fant becomes a necessity at left tackle, and now, of course, Duane Brown becomes a right tackle necessity. They added Caleb Benenoch for some depth, but he is not anybody that I'm throwing there, obviously. So this makes a lot of sense. They went out and they got Quan Alexander, and I love that move. The Jets have shown, and mainly Joe Douglas has shown, that he's not afraid to go out and get some veterans to, add a spark. add some veteran presence, and I like that. I think now this is so imperative, though, that they get the Duane Brown deal done. Now, what does this mean for the Jets that they do? Like I said, they want to get him acclimated. They'll have to get him acclimated. They'll have to get him comfortable with the offensive line. And I do think maybe they could experience some jitters early on in the season. I mean, this is August. August injuries are the worst because now you don't have a lot of time before now in week 1. However, I do think they'll get him ready to go. He's a veteran. He's been in multiple offenses. I think this guy will be good for them. I do think they get it done. I think they get it done probably tomorrow, but we'll see. So those are my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think below. Do you think that Becton is done as a Jet? Do you think that his time is over? Do you think that they trade him next year? What do you think happens to Becton? And also, what do you think happens to Brown? Do the Jets claim Brown? Do they sign him? Do they make sure he's theirs? Or does he go somewhere else? How does he do as a Jet? What are your thoughts? I want to hear it all. Drop it in the comment section below. But I'm Jake Ellenbogen. That's going to do it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick video. And unfortunately, we'll be hoping Becton, maybe better news comes along the pipeline. I'm not expecting it. So hopefully by tomorrow, we hear about Duane Brown becoming a New York Jet. But we'll see what happens. So be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. And I'm out of here. Take care, guys. Later.